played, and Way's got a nice KDA on it.
And I expect him to keep going towards this pick. It fits to his style, right? He likes to be the one that's in control of the jungle, so he can decide where he wants to gank, where he wants to play towards, and Graves gives you that.
Isn't it kind of funny that both Way and Wei have similar champion pools, especially in this meta? Like, we've got some similarities with not only names. As RNG are looking at 80 carries here, Dagda, and the biggest one, the most famous one, I wish we'd ban this, honestly.
You can see there the pick rate, 75%.
Of course it is.
Because once you got the Varus gone and that Kalista gone, well, it kind of becomes the go-to button for this game. So Felios will be locked in. We could see a support locked in or a jungle match here. Potential for Shelongbao to go towards Trundle or something of the likes here. Even though Trundle does lose out in the Graves matchup, a lot of people have just been opting into it because at least you can clear somewhat well and still have a decent front line, but going to be looking towards Shelongbao instead.
You say Shelongbao because this is a champion that we've really identified with him, that's right. Shelongbao returning, or starting in the league in 2020 spring, is what we associated with him, while eStars, will be heading towards that bottom lane. It's Ezreal as the natural other strong 80 carry right now, paired with
Yuumi, maybe?
I mean, Yuumi we haven't seen as a high-tier priority in the LPL. Going towards an Ornn? Okay.
Alright, so with the Ornn locked in, we can still see RNG go towards something like a Kale or something along these lines. They've got decent scaling already with the Aphelios there, so I maybe don't want to see them leave this open until that next rotation so it gets banned away, but you're then threatening your support pool as well here because you haven't really locked anything in.
It's going to come back to the support point. Seeing Xiaoxi on anything that's not a playmaking support kind of sucks. It feels bad, so maybe I'm glad for now while Xiaohu, big boy LeBlanc, we haven't seen this ban today as much as normal, so it's seeping through the cracks.
Yeah, and it does so well in controlling this mid lane and then being able to influence the side lanes. Looking at these bans though, here we go. Lissandra taking off the board to give Xiaohu a little bit of presence. I want to see RNG ban away this Bard. If you've got an Ezreal and you're allowing a Bard through, he's got so much mobility and maneuverability in these early stages to get these roams off. And as well, we've seen how potent Xiaoxi is on this champion. You banned his Thresh, you banned his set. Let's just get him really uncomfortable in this match.
Not to mention that he is just such an OP pick at the moment, and we love him here. As Brom's going to go first, and Brom's interesting. We have not seen a Brom in about 11 light years, as Nautilus is a big pick for Ming, so maybe that goes next.
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus would make sense. It's been one of Ming's most played. Okay, Galio going to be gone here. So we're still going to have that Bard up, and I think that's going to be the most contested one on this first rotation here. Maybe eStar just ban it away, and we do dip nice and deep into the champion.
Benfen also, to note, is the kind of player that will just pick up Corki and farm it, like even against the LeBlanc here. So I'd be curious to see how it goes. There goes Ming's Nort, and RNG have the choice of the litter, solo lane or support.
I think here you probably go towards your top laner. You already know you're against the Ornn, so why not just lock in something that can do well against them? And then we can go down towards keeping that support counter pick open when you want to see what's coming out. Wukong could be the option. Again, could also go towards something like the Kale, but I think when you look towards RNG, they like to be a team that can bounce off the engages from new, and Wukong suits that style super well.
Yeah, he's just played so well on it. Is his most played champion. This is going to be his 5th game, bar Renekton, who comes up as a second at 2. But eStar now have to show their cards on the table. The Bard you mentioned now, that's more of a playmaking support, at least for Xiaoxi.
Yeah, it was one of the big picks for him coming into the spring split. He got, I think it was 3 MVP performances on that pick, so definitely one he does like. But we're going to have the Karma going in towards the mid lane, it looks like, with Xiaoxi hovering the Blitzcrank. And different again here for FunFun. He's actually been playing around a lot with his champion pool. The supportive role here to try and help out in setting up Wink and setting up Wei on these 2 carries. But I kind of like this because Wei's actually one of the big carry tools for eStars. He's the jungler with the highest team's damage percentage. So enabling him with FunFun here could work really well.
I mean, it's a composition where you got Xiaoxi who's back on that Bard. You got a playmaking support. You got FunFun with stability through mid. While now everything's on the table. You already knew where that Ornn was going, but what are they going to build into the support position now that Bard's there?
I'm curious myself. I'm trying to dig through my thought process here to go for Leona. does kind of work. It means you can go aggressive onto the Bard. The only issue here is very similar to what we saw in our last series, where the Bard can continuously throw these Tempered Fates in on top of the Aphelios, and with no Thresh or nothing like a Tam Kench here to try and keep him safe, there is the potential here that eStar just look to run over RNG and get onto this Aphelios.
Now, you talked about ramping up, how the 80 carries in Way and Wink on eStar are just going to have so much support from the side of eStar, so that's pretty simple to understand. We get towards the late game with the Karma mid. That's pretty annoying, especially when you have an Ezreal and a Bard paired up as well. But on the side of RNG, I see another strong 2v2. I also see a lot of skirmishing enabled in this mid game.
Definitely, RNG have got a nice composition that can look to skirmish with that top side, where you've got the Wukong, Lee Sin, and LeBlanc that can do quite well together, especially once you do hit that level 6 for the Wukong around that Rift Herald timing. That trio can essentially punish quite a bit from the eStar side, but they're still waiting for that Aphelios to ramp up towards the later stages of the game, so we're still going to be waiting for that 25 to 30 minute mark where the Aphelios can do Aphelios things. On the opposite side though, where you're looking at eStars, they are again looking towards, okay, fun, let's have you push super aggressively, work with Wei, see if we can get Shousey out of this bottom lane as well, because you've got an Ezreal who can do fine absorbing that pressure from the Leona and the Aphelios and try and enact this e-bully style that eStar have found success with.
The main thing we need to look at, Dagda, is does Wei have Smite?
For the love of God, I hope so.
Does he have Smite? I think he's learned his lesson for the first time. We'll see. We're heading on to Summoner's Rift with eStar and RNG, the two teams in 2020 spring that got out in round 1 of playoffs. eStar were defeated by WE, RNG defeated by EDG. They never got to face each other in the bracket at opposite ends. Now, starting off summer here, both teams kind of hyped up as potential playoff teams. RNG more so than eStar, but still, top 8 teams heading onto the Rift. Always a joy to watch. As ready, Dagda, let's see. We're going to get that cut across. And Wei has Smite.
We
Perfect.
goddamn did it.
All
Let's
right.
go. Now we got an actual game on our hands. We don't have to worry about him trying to
that's
invade at level 1 and hope to God he can kill someone with Ignite.
He's also got Phase Rush as per usual. Unsealed Spellbook for the Karma mid. Also a bit of usual. We've seen Orianna, Karma. Who else is running Unsealed Spellbook? Zoe's. Galio's. Any champion that does something really can just opt into Unsealed Spellbook.
Yeah, and look, I mean, when you're in a lane
Start
like
it
this,
again.
okay, you toss at the teleport, you get that reduced cooldown. You also get some nice things where you can use the Nimbus Cloak pretty effectively, because you still do go towards that sorcery tree.
Yeah.
And then as well, don't forget, like, for a lane like LeBlanc, it can be super annoying when you've got Barrier to get through, Heal to get through, and Exhaust to get through, because all Fun wants to do in this lane is shove in repeatedly and then try and join in with Wei and be a little bit more of a nuisance for Xiaolong Bao and keeping this Lee Sin in check and allowing the eStar jungler to just outscale his counter.
Because notice again, it's same as Wei actually, funnily enough. This ward placed down towards red, Wei immediately backs off, gets the lens, has that timer as well to deny vision. So you can see it's a defensive ward placed by RNG towards the blue buff, while now they know where Xiaolong Bao is. Good tracking here to start off game 1 by eStar.
Oh, so we're actually seeing the mana flow ban coming in here for the Karma instead.
Feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it's just about, again, as we talked about, getting more of that show pressure in and making sure that you can keep it pushed in against Xiao, who I was kind of expecting the Nimbus Cloak just because it can work so nice when you've got Unsealed Spellbook and trying to get yourself into correct position to poke and shield and be a little bit more useful in these fights. But it doesn't matter when too much. It's just the mana flow band to keep that pushing going in the mid lane.
Also, it's super easy to proc it in lane here against Xiaohu when he's always going to run face first into you. As a Karma aficionado, feel free to ask anything, Dagda. I'll tell you.
I'm going to come up with something like horribly complex now, just to ask you. Just to
only gold, by the way, so please don't strive too hard. But of course, he has the shove in mid for now. And Xiaolong Bao went camp to camp, then cleared out his bottom side, going towards top now. Well, you can see it's a full clear for Wei. He's actually a camp ahead with the speed that's going on here. He's at Krugs with a push in bottom side here for Shousey and Wink.
Nice play from Fun though. You can see he's hovering down towards his bottom side. Knows, again, because of that ward you talked about earlier, Hysterics, that Xiaolong Bao will be towards top side. So just not giving him the opportunity to get into this mid lane, because it can be super obnoxious and easy for Xiaohu to set up these ganks, or at least blow his summoner spell because of those chains. So keeping himself safe, and it means that won't be getting any sort of funny business from Xiaolongbao early.
Way here as well, hovering around that Scuttle Crab after taking it. He's going to be getting a bit of information. Yep, all camps are cleared, he says. And good back timing. So a slower early game with Sonic Wave coming in. No real threat as Funfun's damage is not there just yet. But Xiaohu has the wave at a position that's going to be pushing in Mr. Daggy.
So we're going to see Graves going back towards this top side now for Wei. Won't.
On.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if the Searing Charge was up and available. That could have been a bit scary for New, but you can see, yeah, Oren trying effectively. Now you got Wei, who, again, will be able to clear down towards his bottom side. And for eStars, slow early game is perfectly fine. This is why Wei is going for these full clears, because at the end of the day, you're waiting for Funfun to, yeah, he can be useful in this mid game, but still get a couple of items. You don't have Wink, who's in a position really to try and be aggressive with you. And Oren is still going to be waiting for that level 13, level 14 point. So Wei just looking to out-farm and push super far ahead of Xiaolongbao.
Because if we get to a late game with eStars and comp like this, it feels like before you even get close to them, RNG might just be poked down, right? Relies a lot on Xiaohu being able to kill someone like Funfun or even Wei before the support and the cavalry comes towards eStar's rescue.
Yeah, they do have a little bit of poke, but it's not going to be too much of an issue. You can see if you got New who gets into the correct position, say a Dragon fights or even a Baron fights, well, having that flash available can close that gap pretty effectively. This isn't the same kind of style that we saw from top esports where they had the Jace and they were looking to always kite back. It's you have some option to poke if RNG are in it, this Dragon bit or Baron pit, but it's not the main thing. They are looking for these front to back style team fights.
Really nice lens timing here from Xiaoxi, but unfortunately he won't get the second ward over at Krugs. It was deeply placed by Ming, who took the blast cone over and returned back to lane. So that's all we're looking at this point in this early game. Expect a slower experience. You just came out of the best team in LPL V5. Now you're into the playoff teams in RNG and eStar. So obviously there's going to be a level difference.
I'm curious to see how these Dragons will go as Wink.
He's going to get locked down. Graviton was already used as the active as Ming almost gets locked against the wall. The damage is great. Now the turnaround here. With Chakrams available, Graviton's going to be reused here, but Betty's out of mana.
Betty's out of mana. You also have Wei hovering down in this bot side, so I wasn't sure how aggressive eStars wanted to go. So you do need to be careful here as RNG.
He's actually been farming really well, Dr. Look at the level difference and the CS difference on your screen. 15 now the take with Skirmishing Smite there. Wei is at a massive point.
And this is not only because Wei has been farming super aggressively, but also the way eStar's lanes have been playing haven't given the opportunity for Xiaolongbao to do anything. You have Wink and Xiaoxi playing super far under the tower. They're not being aggressive. You've got, well, in mid lane, Funfun, we talked about how he's been playing super well with his positioning in relation to Xiaolongbao's pathing. So it means that for Xiaolongbao, who's been aggressively looking for these ganks, trying to set up these plays, because he's a Lee Sin who's going to eventually fall off in relation to Wei, well, eStars are fine. They've been doing great, and RNG are losing out as a result.
Blue buff now going to be transferred over to Funfun through mid here as well. Efficient pathing to add into that mix. This camp's now back up and available. Funfun has got the Amplifying Tome quite early. Sorry, the Fiendish Codex, I should say. So that paired with the Fairy Charm, he's never going to run out of mana plus the blue buff.
Yeah, I mean, and you can already see the CS advantage that's growing there for him. Just as a LeBlanc, you want to be trying to trade effectively, but you can't do it because the shield the Funfun has, and again, being able to shove in consistently with that inner flame means that you're trying to farm underneath the tower, which is not really where LeBlanc likes to be.
Small gold lead through this lane as well, with the CS difference talked about, and Jung.
And the thing here is, for Xiaohu, you've kind of got to just accept your fate, because if you try and go in with your distortion here, there is an opportunity for Funfun to just shield and run at you and then get the stun, trade really effectively. So that's why Xiaohu is always on the back foot in this matchup. But we're looking now at the Dragon being started, with Funfun being able to shove in that wave. Xiaoxi again coming across here to keep them safe, and this is going to be gone before they can really do anything. But
oh, hang on, because Ming's found the engage. Teleport used a little bit earlier than RNG. The flash away from Funfun. They're committing onto Ming, but they can't get anything. While Wei's still stuck in the back of the pit. 4 people in the Tribush with True Shot Barrage only hitting you. The steal away goes to RNG. Xiaolongbao gets knocked up on the way out, but Speaking of, Wei is by himself. There is no response after all said and done.
Xiaolongbao did a good job there to win the 50-50, so the Dragon will go the way of RNG with everyone coming down to the bottom lane, but nobody being able to pick up any sort of advantage.
And that little CS discrepancy has now been built up because of the nice steal away for the Dragons. So Xiaolongbao has curbed that one up. We go back to as we were.
And now we can start to look, though, at this Rift Herald fight. Because for RNG, we talked about their skirmish potential with Xiaohu, Xiaolongbao, and Nu. If they can just play the three-man game towards this Rift Herald, even if they really want to have Ming roam up, you've still got all of your ultimates available for this squad, and they will do really well against the eStar's combo because Fen can do some damage, but realistically you're relying on Wei, and Xiaobai, who has no ultimate.
With Warhammer versus double longsword as well, so Xiaolongbao feeling good with the Dragon's Rage.
This is great for RNG. If they can pincer like this, Nu should just run down here directly onto eStar.
Shall see, Tempered Fate going to be important. Slow down, Xiaolongbao looking for a second steal, and he gets it! This guy never misses, while Nu gets the engage and first blood. RNG in a fantastic position with Xiaobai flashing over the wall. That's it. eStar's now on the back foot.
This is what I love about this new RNG, is being able to read the map state, figure out how to play it.
Woo! The sun's hot today.
Very much is. Manages to get a flash out of Fun. But this is the thing. RNG realized, look, you've already burnt both Wei's ultimate and Xiaobai's ultimate in that previous Dragon fight. So when Nu comes in here, well, there's no Xiaobai disengage to come in. Wei's going to struggle, so Nu gets the flash after. He's also put enough pressure onto Wei that he's got to move back from the Rift Herald, so Xiaolongbao gets the steal. It's everything coming up for RNG in this game so far.
Nu accelerated here in another game where his Wukong is shown to be a really dangerous pick to give away. I mean, Nu so far has been a great addition to this new RNG roster. I wish his name was still Meow.
Yeah,
just a heads up, Meow, aka
Meow
Nu. Yeah, it was such a great name. Again, we talked about it in the podcast. 2018 VG Gaming top laner who didn't show us that much, but now here on RNG, it feels like the time away has done him good, and his return has been welcomed. RNG fans pretty happy so far from what I can get from their sentiment.
I mean, look, he kind of got overshadowed a little bit because he did have Easy Hoon on that roster, so a lot of people are going, oh my god, we got Easy Hoon in the LPL.
Wink's actually being caught on out here. Nice little shield of Daybreak, but Wink will arcane shift away.
And going back to the point is, Vici had a lot of people rotating in and out of that roster, so he kind of just got lost in the mix, but coming over to RNG, replacing Long Xing, he's been doing great, and we already talked about it. I mean, solo kills for him, he's been doing really well in his laning phases. His team fights, that skirmishes that we were talking about, you just saw it there, has been really, really stellar as well. So RNG are finding great success with this roster.
With a bit of leadership from Xiaolongbao, who's now towards the bottom side. Rift Herald in hand. If he gets a successful gank here with the pushing wave, and that first turret's going to go down, RNG are going to snowball the heck out of this gold lead. And in the gaps in vision, Wink going to play through the minion wave. You can see as well, look, Xiaoxi's not in lane.
Will be coming back now. Went to get a little bit more mana for himself after potting down, but
there we go. Kick flash. He cleanses, but he doesn't flash. Xiaolongbao, man. Those dumplings tasting pretty good.
That was pretty sweet, I gotta say. Not even giving the opportunity for Wink. And you can even see the panic, the cleanse, arcane shift, whatever direction I can, but doesn't get out. Xiaohu now making his way down to the bottom lane as well.
Soulflare locks on down, the double distortion into the wall. The Tempered Fate not onto himself. He wants to be selfless with the Rift Herald. Now between as RNG again win out on the trade. Xiaoxi forced away. The Herald gets the charge. And 4 members are going to savor this moment as being even dodges away from the true shot barrage. And look at New Mid. RNG are taking it all.
And this is why we love RNG. It's these map setups that they can do so well with. So yes, you get some of that turret plating gone over to Xiaobai, but the thing here is, I would much prefer my Wukong to have a lot more gold than my Ornn, and you're still trading relatively evenly when it comes to the top and mid turrets, but gaining massively thanks to this bottom lane play with Xiaolongbao. Look how clean this is. Like, that was instant, and there's nowhere for Wink to go. He knows he's done for. Just burn the cleanse, hoping maybe you get the cleanse instant flash into an arcane shift away, but he accepts his fate. Once Betty had that auto attack in the air, he was always going to go down.
It's a shame because Wink was paying so much respect for the possibility of the gank, but then last minute lets down his guard, and a nice kick flash from Xiaolongbao. The kill goes over to Ming, but still, it's a kill in regard to RNG, who are now going to get new sorry, eStar rather, is into the clone. The searing charge misses. That was nice from you. The ultimate from Ornn locks him against the wall. The Cyclone there. Not much you can do versus 3 people. Xiaobai picks up the kill, and this turret is going to be dropping a lot of plating.
Nice call from eStar. They're not going to try and contest this Dragon. They know you've already got too many advantages on RNG side, so make the play on the top side, get some of that turret plate, get some much-needed gold into Wink's pocket. And I may be able to get this first turret for themselves, but you can see on the bottom side, there's a lot of members of RNG going down, and okay, you got chakrams, never mind. It's yeah.
Let's see, hang on. Oh! They get it. Aphelios was beaten at something. What a pleasure.
Just about, but still, that's great for eStar. They end up trading 1-for-1 when it comes to the turrets, especially when the Rift Tower was already invested into that. They get all the turret plates for themselves as well. It's just that Dragon going over to RNG is going to be a little bit of an issue now, as they've already racked up 2 for themselves. But Wink now should be backing. I think he's got enough now to get up towards that Iceborne Gauntlet off of that play as well. And now you're hitting the point where eStars can look to fight back.
Because it was a bit of a disaster with the objective fights and the steal away from Wei, where Xiaolong Bao moved past that gold lead established by the Graves. But that topside play where first Heart Blood was secured has even gold up again. So eStars are not completely in the dumpster. eStars are not sent packing already in this game number 1. We're to a bit of an even state with first items coming in across the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate there for Wink. Not quite able to finish the Iceborne Gauntlet, but as he said, I mean, even gold across the board here. You can see that, look, Betty has got that kill advantage for himself, or at least that gold advantage for himself there. About a kill's worth, thanks to the plates that he managed to pick up on the bottom side. But eStar again, here's this play style we're talking about. Fun, Wei, trying to put pressure through the jungle here, and we'll be able to put an answer onto this bottom lane turn.
Giving more gold over to the most fed member. And I know you're talking about gold versus Wukong versus Ornn, but he's going to pick up one while Betty starts knocking away the turret himself. Aphelios with a bit of solo gold.
And that's the problem. That's the big problem here, is that you're giving gold to Wei in front of him. Okay, that's okay, but Aphelios is the champion here that is going to scale the best, and he's the one that's benefactory. You've got a lot of this extra gold that's going in, well, potential gold to come from this Rift Tower play as well. So eStar, yes, they realize they're behind. Yes, they're trying to trade back and forth across the map because they don't want to try and fight for these objectives, but it is RNG still picking up these slight victories, and that's all RNG want to do. When we get to this stage, this is where RNG start to take it much more slow and collected, and they will look to just event. Hang on. No, Shehu's out.
Okay.
Yeah, they will look to take it a little bit slow and put a chokehold on you, so you don't get an opportunity to try and fight. You don't get an opportunity to move into your own jungle, and they will slowly ease you into submission.
It's also a great time when you're a LeBlanc, when you hit that 1-2 items where if vision is not controlled by eStars, you get to a point where the picks start coming through. And RNG being in control with Rift Herald, where they start getting some of these outer turrets down to expand the map, could be dangerous for eStar.
The shot calling from RNG has been really solid this game. You saw the fight at that early Dragon where they were able to steal away the Dragon without actually burning at least anything more than eStar did. We did get the teleports, but they didn't invest any of these ultimates, and it's that restraint that really gave them the advantage then when we got to the Rift Herald. And this is why RNG are looking so strong at the moment. It's these minute second decisions that will just make such a big difference in the game, and how they're able to use those small advantages to gain such larger ones overall.
On the back of this man here, who was on your screen just moments ago, Xiaolong Bao with 100% kill participation. Also note that that too could mean many things. I'm pretty sure it means objective stolen here in game 1.
Potentially. I do want to say though, look, we're getting to this 20-minute mark, right? We're still only 1,000 gold lead for RNG. This is where eStar are still very much in this game. You've got the 2 items now completed for Wink. He's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, the Mana Moon, still looking for the Mura Mana, but the Athenes and Holy Grail completed for Fun. This becomes a super obnoxious combo now to deal with, where Wei and Wink can play pretty far forward. A lot of damage can come through from Fun, and then you get the healing and the shield to keep whoever RNG jump on alive.
I have a question for you. Who the hell kills 3-4 item Ornn on this team for RNG, apart from Aphelios?
Yeah, I mean, there's your answer. It's Aphelios every single time.
And he's fed. The issue is that Xiaobai picked up that kill, and he also has a CS lead over New, almost towards the second item as well, which looks like it's going to be the Iceborne. So
I'm surprised to see the Iceborne. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think definitely going towards some of your more potent armor items could have worked out a lot better. Or But I like that he's still tending towards the armors, because when you look at it, okay, well, you've got Xiaohu, who's not really going to be prioritizing Xiaobai, at least when it comes to the damage. So going for more armor makes far more sense for the sword.
Xiaohu's also now looking for a bit of a flanking position towards Dragon. He was spotted out. You can see eStar have put pings down. He's in that position because Dragon's coming up in about 5 seconds. As Rift Herald goes down, RNG will have the position for this, but eStar's still committing through the mid lane. Wasting a bit of time, but it could have been early because the Dragon's only now just come up. eStar moving towards River.
It's about getting positioning here for them, though. They're on the Dragon first. Xiaohu can now play this super annoying LeBlanc by consistently pressuring them.
The Tempered Fate, the steal doesn't come through. Rather, it's Wink who picks it up. Ezreal, for some reason, was red. They need to fix that. And that's it. They're out.
Beautiful play from Wink there. Manages to steal it away, and it was super close. And Xiaolong Bao no longer on his own 100% steal rate. It looks like we've got thieves across the board in this game.
Wink picking that up. Bit of a class act. Apologize for missing that. You notice in Spectator, when we see like a steal or something, it's a red circle.
Yeah.
When Wink is actually on blue.
Yeah, it can be a little bit funky, a little bit tricky.
Funky's a word for it. Quite irritating, to be quite honest, if you're a caster.
Well, look, either way now, we're getting to the stage where we're still bang on even in gold. We still want both these squads to be able to get down these mid lane turrets, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to do so. Fun can push pretty effectively against Xiao, who also against Mew, because he doesn't really have to worry about actually getting into a fight with this Wukong. But we're going to see this steal here once again on your screens. And Xiaohu, I thought here was going to play a little bit kind of keep away from the rest of eStar, but it's unfortunate here that even though you don't have Wei get into the pit, they're still able to just steal it with. Oh, he does get into the pit. But
oh. Smite to, and Graves broke the game. Okay. Collateral damage helped with that one. We might have another fight. RNG through River. The pick here. Solar Flare lay it down.
Oh my god.
Moonlight Vigil with Infernum. eStar do not walk towards an Aphelios in a choke.
Today's just an Aphelios montage, apparently.
Every bloody day is.
And Betty now, because of that play, sets up RNG for this Baron.
A 20-minute Baron, and eStar have nothing to do but watch it, or rather expect it to go down.
To be fair to Betty, though, he's done a great job of accelerating himself so fast this game.
Yeah.
He's matching this Ezreal for items. He's already got that Runes Hurricane completed. And this is coming off the kills, it's coming off that CS advantage, and all those turret plates that he managed to pick up in the early stages. So RNG have just played this smart in getting a lot of this gold funneled into Betty, and as he said, he needs to be the one to carry, to take down Xiaobai, to take down the whole of eStar, and he's looking like he's in a very good position to do so.
I mean, it's just quite insane, because on top of the Moonlight Vigil with Infernum, you're running into a choke with Xiaohu on LeBlanc, with a Wukong, with a it's just... We're going to have a look at the ProView replay of this, because you're talking about Betty. Here we go.
Flash in aggressively. That was disgusting.
I mean, double
Look,
kick.
I mean, he's not even surprised by that. He's just like, yeah, it's another day at the office on a Fed.
That was a big mistake by eStar, walking into that choke. And really nice ult from Ming as well. RNG now have Baron. They picked it up for 20 minutes as a double Cosmic Binding, but that means nothing. RNG also up by 3,000 gold. So now the ball's really rolling as Betty's here by himself mid. He can just push his turret.
The early game from RNG is just so oppressive to try and deal with. And you see now they've been able to take this mid lane turret. eStar can't even try and contest this. And this is just beautiful from RNG. And we've seen it time and time again. I mean, right now they have an 80% lead rate at the 15-minute mark, which is pretty insane for some of the teams that RNG have gone up against.
So looking for Xiaohu, called the force shot, aimed down the line. He flashes in a straight line, but there's too much distance between eStar and him, so we'll make it out alive.
Yeah, well, RNG now, with everyone committed to that bot side for eStar, can just move over towards this top tower. They're going to be able to get this, no problem at all.
Yep.
You've even got the Severum there for Betty to just help in taking this one down nice and easy.
Okay, 4K gold lead. Baron's got a minute left, but RNG going to back away now. Xiaohu, you can see busy down towards the bottom side. And they've already done enough, but they haven't broken the base.
Well, what they're trying to do right now is at least accumulate a little bit of that gold, because now we're going to start looking at this sole point for RNG. It's just over a minute before that spawns. RNG are already starting to get nice vision control around. You can see a few red wards littered in that jungle of eStar. So you've now got the last Whisper completed for Betty. He's going to be able to, if you get into this front-to-back style fight against Xiaobai, be able to take down this Ornn because of how much armor he's actually picked up so far. Xiaohu as well, working towards that Rabadon's death cap. I don't think he'll be, no, he's not going to be able to get it before this next fight, but at least he's going to be very strong and try to burst out whoever Finfin doesn't shield.
Yeah.
So RNG, towards this next fight, they can just go aggressive against eStar and look to beat them outright, which is incredible because this is the point you think, oh, well, Wink is supposed to be really strong. Finfin hasn't really fallen off yet.
And it's kind of sad because eStar really want this Ocean Soul. So if they don't get the Ocean Dragon here, then you go, okay, one more. But if RNG get it with an Aphelios, then that could be lights out and eStar's hopeful scaling.
Look at where New is. He is going to have a field day here.
Look at the Soul Flare again on the two members. You talked about New. He starts spinning right on top of Wei as Betty starts firing away. Xiaobai gets a great ulti as RNG are dangerously low thanks to this fed Ornn. But a double kill goes over once again. And it doesn't matter. Dragon's now secured. And that could have been the fight that changes the game too.
Maybe we can get another steal from eStar that can slow this ramping RNG, but doesn't really look like it. You got Xiaohu trying to play keep away from Wei, and he's not going to have a fun time if Xiaohu gets a combo on him.
Xiaohu's massive, even versus 3, he can start taking him out. Everyone goes after him.
He's level 15 right now. He is going to ruin Wei, who's only level 11 on this Graves.
Yep.
Xiaohu's super far accelerated. So is Betty. This is looking like RNG again. This cool, calm, collected close to this game.
That just looked a lot better than eStars that punished them many, many times over. Are RNG back? The question we raised at the start of this segment, RNG are looking on form, and this has just been played to a T.
Well, look, I mean, when we look at their games, it's been one hiccup to LNG, but they're just coming off the back of a victory against JDG. I think we got to say, when you look at plays like this, that RNG are back. New, hovering off to the wings because they know eStar are going to be positioned in mid lane. You got Betty, who's gone for this last Whisper, understanding, look, I need to get through Finfin, I need to get through Xiaobai, so they've got this game figured out 3-4 steps before everyone else they're playing against.
You see Xiaobai's damage there?
Yeah.
Xiaobai did half health to 4 members. That's the power of Ornn, but also it shows you how far ahead he actually found himself in the early game and how much Xiaobai has been doing. It's kind of a shame because if the rest of eStar were there, lay it down, RNG get caught out, and that fight goes very differently. And
it's why I'm kind of surprised to see this Karma locked in when you've got an Ezreal. Because we saw what top esports could do with an Aphelios and a Karma. And maybe you could do something similar with a more auto-attack based AD carry, but when you're going for an Ezreal who's more prone to this Mystic Shot style and trying to use spell weaving in his kit, it doesn't quite work out to the same extent. And unfortunately, Finfin hasn't been able to get the most success out of this champion. We haven't seen this E-bullies that we were talking about with Finfin, Xiaoxi, and Wei being able to be oppressive in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, we only got the showing of it towards that bottom side a little bit earlier on. Look at where Xiaohu is, though. 2-level difference over his counterpart mid. Now Rabadon's Death Cap in hand as his second item with the Fiendish Codex that's been sitting there way before then. So Xiaohu's feeling pretty good. A lot of attention has to be paid towards him, but he's going to get this turret while Baron's on the horizon and eStar are thinking about where to go.
I mean, they've free roam in this jungle right now. You can see there's no one from eStar willing to potentially threaten this, not even look at the jungle. So there you go, they cleared all the wards. And look at the level difference that we've gotten here. Wei is level 12. You look towards Xiaohu at 16, Betty at level 15. If he ends up walking into either Xiaohu or Betty, especially as this short-range jungler, he's going to be annihilated.
Because they might have to check soon. Look at where RNG are. eStars have no wards in the pit. There's a scrying orb, and that's useful. Every time it gets spotted out, eStar can have peace of mind.
But they're not really getting this vision back in their favor. You can see that the river still belongs to RNG. They can clear out that ward, and now you've got no sweeper, or at least no scrying orb to get us. So yeah, Xiaohu uncontested here. This is RNG running eStars around the map.
And then RNG will go back to Baron. A quick couple of resets here. Xiaohu on the inhibitor. It's only the Karma who's back, so Finfin might actually have a bit of trouble with him. Watch him go back.
He doesn't need to, because all they're trying to do right now is pressure eStar out, so they're forcing them back at a river now. So this is the back and forth you get when it comes to vision control. So you've had Ming who's returned to base. He's going to be coming back in with his wards now to take it over. And eStar already investing 2 rounds of wards now. I mean, they won't spot out this because they've got no...
it's going to be so hard for eStar. Yep, pull off the Baron. Xiaohu's still there. He's continuing to wait for the minion wave and walk back up. Fun permanently committed to the bottom lane.
I'm surprised RNG didn't stick on the Baron a little bit longer. I think they were expecting eStar to start contest them. You see, they don't actually have vision in the enemy side of the jungle, which is what they really need right now to continue making these plays. So they start the Baron, they fall off, and now they've given eStar's time on this mid lane turret.
Just a bit of gold to inject back into the composition. Still 6k gold behind, but a turret you feel like should never have been given over with how dominant that back and forth was.
It doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things.
This might though.
Yeah, I mean, with this Ocean Soul coming up in just a few moments, you're going to want eStar to try and make some play.
The Forge God can lay down the line. Solarflare stops the momentum though. Really nice from Ming.
And if you're RNG here, you can just have Xiaohu again, just playing keep away here on the bottom side. He can shove in that bottom wave and still be in a good position to play towards this dragon. So RNG with a lot of the cards here for themselves on this dragon fight.
Well, you can see Xiaohu's taking this time to reset. He starts moving into position. Ocean Soul give it up. Again, to use that term, nail in the coffin, it would feel like for sure. eStar in game number 1. 7 kills, 30 minutes. LCK has truly become part of us. As engage here on the Xiaobai. Is he tanky enough? Of course, with the Stoneblade, the 3rd item. Yeah. New waiting for his own engage. Way goes in, then back out. Dragon started, but not committed to.
They don't really have much in the way of waves now from RNG to pressure, so eStars are fine to just sit here. So you can see Wei hops over the wall. This is smart from eStars. They don't have map pressure anywhere from RNG right now, but RNG now spot this.
Coming in, Wei might just have to back off. Still in the back of the pit. Diverts down. The Solarflare is back again. He gets kicked out of the pit, and Ocean Soul is secure. Bit of damage here from Wink over the wall. Shallenbao flashes away. Gets the Mystic Shot. Even with Ocean Soul, he goes down. Wink flashes into the wall, so that's not the follow-up you expect. But they get the jungler with 40 seconds. eStar can walk towards Baron.
Xiaohu is backing, but he will have that teleport to join. And you don't have the engage from Nu, but potential still for RNG to try and fight this. Xiaobai's ultimate is nearly up and available though. Call of the Forge God could be crucial in turning this fight against RNG.
How quickly do they do it? Because even with Ocean Soul, RNG still have a favorable fight. 7k getting at half health. RNG on the outskirts. Betty has Infernum with Moonlight Vigil. Into the Call of the Forge God in the back of the pit. Dragon. Baron, sorry, getting low. At 1500, triple knockup. They just need to take it down. The smite's there. eStar's pick up Baron, while Xiaobai doing a great job of pulling this game back. And even with Ocean Soul, RNG just got hit.
They end up fighting the 4 versus 5, and even though Xiaobai doesn't get the ultimate off, they still get the fight, they still get the Baron. Inhibitor, though, will go down. Eventually, those minions will push in and get it, but still, eStar, they're going to be happy that they at least got something here on the map.
There's a lot to dissect, because eStar is still in this game, even with Ocean Soul. We'll have a look at this one again.
So you can see eStar all pinned in the back of the pit here, and Xiaoxi does a great job with this ultimate and just pushing back RNG, but Betty isn't really able to get much work here. He has the Infernum, but is only hitting onto Xiaobai, so a lot of the extra damage that Betty wants isn't quite there. And Xiaohu as well, not able to really get into a position to get onto eStar. And when you've got eStar grouped up like this, these AoE shields from Fun are able to provide the Ardent Sensor. You got a bunch of extra damage that's going to come out with that as well, so it ends up working out for eStar. When we move towards these next fights, though, this becomes a very different story. Betty's now completed his death stance as well, so he's become a lot tankier. You now have RNG with the Dragon Soul as well, so when you have these ultimates up and available for RNG and there is 5, it'll become a very different story for eStar.
But I just have to say, with Baron buff and a 2k gold disadvantage, eStars are practically even. Remember, Ornn adds so much gold, and the Rabadon's death cap being upgraded, the Obsidian Cleaver, the Frozen Fist in the inventory of Wing. Gold's even, if not in favor of eStar, and with this turret, that's going to guarantee it. 32 minutes in, and Funfun's shields, a late game karma, is insanity with the amount of shielding you give. Look at Wing. Holy moly, that is RNE.
Yeah, you can see, and it's given Wink so many opportunities to play aggressive here, pushing in, trying to get down this turret. They're keeping their eyes on where Nu is. That Wukong is going to be the big engage tool here.
in mid right now. Xiaobai the same. Both ultis are available. Xiaohu on the flank, looking for a pick and just trying to get some damage down. Graviton's great though, sets up the Solar Flare. Way to go, Golden, in the nick of time, but the poke from Aphelios is still there while the turret goes down. RNG are backing away, even at full health, while Xiaobai pushes in mid. And eStar have broken the base and are sticking around.
They will have to back away though. Only 20 seconds now until that Baron buff is gone, and they will want to try and spend some of that gold that they did just pick up. The likes of that Blade of the Rune King now will be completed for Wink, which is such a nice pickup, especially as we already talked about, just getting as much of that healing under check and trying to get through the likes of Ming and Ming.
What an interesting game. Interesting in the sense that it just felt like RNG would close this out, get the Ocean Soul.
But that's it, right? This is League of Legends. You make one mistake and there's always the opportunity for your opponent to come back, and that's exactly what happened. Xiaolong Bao went in aggressive to the pit for that dragon. They get the soul, they lose the fight, and give the opportunity for eStar now to at least get some gold back in their favor. Still though, this is where RNG, like we said with eStar in the beginning, have the opportunity to come back.
Xiaobai just used everything. There is still a bit of damage because his MR is pretty non-existent. So Xiaohu did all the dirty work, called the Forge God there, and Xiaobai getting caught out is pretty big death time up. He's up in 55 seconds. RNG have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, you can see now eStar's getting right turtled in their base. They're a bit worried about now what they're going to do. Xiaobai going for this full armor build does leave him exposed to Xiaohu, and he takes full advantage of it. So RNG now with the push, Xiaohu topside. You've already got that inhibitor down in the bottom lane, so there's only 2 lanes that they really need to pressure because minions would do work in the field.
Kind of sad because Xiaobai's been playing so well all game long. Getting caught out like that wasn't synonymous with his game #1 here.
Now though, RNG in a great position to push in. No Baron buff left for eStar. Elder Dragon up in 55. They're trying to put pressure here. This damage from Betty is insane.
Jumps on in. Xiaohu doing the same thing. Inhibitor turret goes down. Both teams now have an exposed inhibitor. eStar's with 2. Their bottom one should be coming up shortly.
And look at Ming. He's just littering wards all over this bottom side jungle as he leaves. They know that they're looking towards this Elder Dragon fight in about 30 seconds. And now you've got an exposed inhibitor mid. You've got the exposed inhibitor boss. But there is a potential here for Xiaohu to just keep pushing up this mid lane. He has the teleport for any fight that happens. And he can threaten this mid inhibitor and the bottom inhib, which is going to respawn just as this dragon fight happens.
Super crazy. And if we get long enough to holding on the dragon, Baron will be up as well. That could be the trade that we expect to see. Xiaohu is a rocket that is going to blow up in someone's face. 3.5 items.
The Rabadon's death cap. This is such a strong point for Xiaohu and really difficult for anyone in eStars. Even you saw Xiaobai to deal with him. So, way going pretty aggressive into the pit.
I think they know where Xiaozi wanted to play the brush and has just thrown the ult into the abyss. Now, granted, it is a lower cooldown, but the fight could happen, and it might not be up.
It looks like RNG aren't confident enough to go for this play just yet. You see Nu is trying to get towards this top side and put some pressure on the inhibitor turret. See if they can drag Xiaobai across, because it becomes a lot easier for Xiaohu to operate on... Never mind that. Xiaohu a lot easier to operate on this LeBlanc if you don't have to worry about Xiaobai.
Because news here, as you mentioned, they've got to start it, so eStar need to commit to something. 5 members in the pit. Xiaolong Bao ready for still behind. Has been spotted out. Xiaohu gets hit away, but remember, Ocean Soul with the Soul Flare blocking behind lines again. Ming is tanking up with the Stone Play, but Nu has teleported in, ready to spin. It's defensive, but onto Xiaozi, he gets healed up. This Karma shielding is insanity, and RNG walking to their deathbed. 2 members down. Elder could be theirs unless Xiaolong Bao recovers their team's effort.
You see eStars are trying to spot him out, but there's no engage for RNG. They're afraid to go in. Betty!
But look what Xiaohu's doing. He's TP'd into the base. We've got triple explosives here, but while Betty is doing Aphelios things, he flashes away yet again. This champion amazes. RNG have 2 members. Xiaolong Bao in the pit at 3k away. It's still hitting away. It's with Ornn. They try to burst it down. It is secured by eStars. They get the execution. Now turn for Aphelios, who can't survive there. While Xiaohu's onto the Nexus, or rather the turret itself. But he comes close with 1 turret standing and remaining.
Betty channeled his inner Uzi there, managing to pick off the kills inside the pit. Forces Fun back, kills off Wink. And now, Xiaohu, he's gonna...
Xiaobai, he does have the Elder, but he survives thanks to Wei. Only just. Xiaohu's still massive. He won't be able to end the game today.
That was so close, though. And now, again, all inhibitors exposed. Elder buff available for RNG. Baron on the cards.
Elder was actually picked up by eStar. As you can see,
Oh,
it's on
sorry,
Wei
yes.
and Xiaobai. But further to your point, it feels like it's available to RNG because they took down 3 members with
That's what I assumed. I was like, Jesus, the damage that is coming out. But RNG, they do end up giving across the eStar. They don't have to fight for this Baron, by the way. They can just do what Xiaohu's doing and run at the base with some of these minions.
Xiaohu has taken the back door. Use here as well. Without teleport, he's got directional change. Fen is defending, and Yu's deciding, do I join the fight for Baron or do I go where Xiaohu is? Baron's going down quickly at 5k.
There.
Ming's on the back. Xiaolongbao here has Smite available. Tempered Fate there. They're going to burn it down. Smite's going to come through its way. Who secures Ming is going to die as well. That's another Elder execute from Wei, while Xiaohu is trying to make this game harder. Inhibitor goes down, all 3 broken, but Baron is now secured by eStar in this 39-minute game.
But what are eStar going to do with this Baron? They have no inhibitors left in their base. Double super minions are going to be pushing in every single lane. This Baron buff is just going to help them survive, and now Elder is going to have worn off as well. So, yes, eStar are getting these objectives, but it's RNG that are actually going to come out on top.
You could imagine if that other Nexus turret goes down, then eStar wouldn't be able to be out of their base at all. But pings are going down with Ming down in, or coming up in 10 seconds, excuse me. They've got the Baron to push. They've got enough waves clear to get here. And now in front of RNG's base it begins.
Xiaolongbao out on the backside, though. They want to try and make a play here and now.
Enter in a flame, gets the movement speed, you get Ardent
This is
Sensor.
eStar's final push. They have to finish off this
Yeah.
because of the 2 super creeps on either side lane.
So time not on their side. eStar moving on up. This is where they want to end the game. Xiaolongbao now spotted out. Ming goes in for the engage. Soulflare doesn't hit anyone while Betty is targeted by Xiaobai. The execute still there for the Elder Dragon, but Betty heals it up with Severum. Xiaobai is set packing by Xiaolongbao, but still tanking up while New into the backline. Sorry, Xiaohu gets into the backline, and Betty finally gets Wei. Xiaohu's 1 hit away and survives, managing to keep on going in this fight as Xiaobai goes down as well. It's messy, but eStar may have bit the bullet as the Tempered Fate rejoins the play. New goes down and Betty is killing everyone. Once again, RNG head forward. And eStar, they tried, but now with the minions in the base, RNG have secured this game.
And it was messy, it was brutal, it was a brawl. But just off the minions nearly getting the tower. But with this second conga line coming, it will be a procession to victory for RNG.
It was messy in the base. You thought, oh, Betty's so close to dying. But again, Severum, huh? Well, Elder wasn't able to execute him. And now Xiaohu's going to do what he wanted to do minutes ago. A 41-minute game, back and forth. But RNG take it out eventually.
And this is what I wanted to see from RNG versus eStar. eStar are a team that are never willing to just roll over and give you the game. We saw it even when you had the miss smite, where you don't take smite